because you won't believe it until you've seen it. I'm sorry, Ben. This is going to be good, so I want to make sure you got it. All right. Interest over the life of the loan is one of the easiest math problems to miss. It's one of the easiest math problems to miss. It is deceptively simple, but what's going to happen is we're going to learn about interest formulas and stuff today, and you're going to try to apply it, and it doesn't really matter. Let me give you an example of an interest over the life of a loan problem. Let's say that your loan amount is $200,000. Your loan amount is $200,000. Your interest is 6%, 30 years. Your monthly P&I payment is $1,200. Monthly P&I is $1,200. I use these numbers just because they're simple. They happen to be pretty close to true, but they're very simple. So my question to you is, how much interest did you pay over the life of the loan? It is so tempting to try to do something with this interest rate right here. In this problem, it is actually irrelevant. The reason it is irrelevant is because you already know your monthly payment. You know your monthly payment. And if this is a 30-year loan, how many times are you going to make that monthly payment? 360. Someone multiply for me, please. 1,200 times 360. 432,000. But think with me for just a moment. What is the 432,000? That the total what?
Interest plus principal.
The total principal and interest that you paid over the life of the loan. What did I say the question was? What is the total interest that you paid over the life of the loan? Well, here's the rule. When you're making principal and interest payments, anything that does not go to principal goes where? To interest. So how much principal did you pay over the life of this loan? $200,000. $432,000 is what you total paid. $200,000 of that went to principal. The rest of it went to interest. So the answer to that question is $232,000. If you pay that loan off over the life of the loan, you're going to pay $232,000 in interest. You paid more in interest than you paid in principal. Is there any wonder that banks build large monuments to themselves? Okay? Now granted, some people will say this, they'll say, well, come on, Chris, nobody ever pays a loan off over 30 years. That's what the banks want you to do. They want you to refinance about every 5 or 6 years. Because what you'll see later is loans are front-loaded with interest. And so when you're refinancing, if you go back to 30 years, I've heard some people recently that they'll advertise that refinance your rate, get down to the lower rate, but don't go back to 30 years. You know, try to stay where you are, 23 years or 20 years or something like that. Because now you're getting into the better part of the amortization schedule. It's kind of interesting when you look at the way this works and how you can save money over the life of a loan. But Bill makes a great point. It's all tax deductible, so if that makes you feel better. You got that going for you. All right? The interest over the life of a loan. Would you like to see another? All right, that's going to be hard because I don't have enough. I'll have to make one up.
Do the same one for 15 years.
Oh, that's right. We can figure it out that way, can't we? Matter of fact, let's do that, Tom. Mr. Volunteer. Mr. Volunteer, let me ask you, let's pick a different number, just so that they do it. No, you've already done it for 15 years. Let's do a different number, just to make sure everybody knows it's a different problem. You're borrowing $150,000 as your loan amount. And remember, for test purposes, be disciplined on this. Make sure you do whatever you have to do to get to the loan amount. In this case, I'm just giving it to you. Okay? $150,000 is your loan amount. Your interest rate is 5% through 20 years. Just to really throw Tom off. Tom,
660.
the amortization factor is 660. So we'll put two competencies together. We're going to figure out how much our monthly payment is. 150,000 divided by 150, and Tom says that the amortization factor is 6.6. Can someone confirm that for me? Megan, you're confirming? Okay, so 150 times 6.6, is that 990? 990. And Tom, what is 990?
That's the monthly.
That's your monthly P&I. Oh, be careful. Again, be disciplined here. How many times are you going to make that $990 payment? 240, because this is only a 20-year loan. All the problems we do in 30-year. Be careful on the exam. Make sure they don't try to sneak one by you. 240 times. So 990 times 240. Somebody check this number here, but I have 237,600. And just to remind you, what is that number? That's the total that you paid, total principal and interest you paid over the life of the loan. The question was, what was the interest that you paid over the life of the loan? So what do we subtract out? We subtract out the original principal, which was 150, and it looks like the interest over the life of that loan, 87.6. Is that what y'all said? Okay. 87,600. There is your interest over the life of the loan. Can you get that question right, Victor? Yes. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Z, you got that one? You gonna get the discount point question right? Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. There's 2 points right there, and they're math points. Okay? All right, let's see. Questions or comments on that? I think it's safe to go ahead and turn it off for just a moment being. We're going to do a few problems together now that you've seen several concepts. Go ahead and turn it off. Kim, how you